Hello and welcome to Randoms. It's another beautiful day to have randoms.
I know I'm not supposed to say that, but honestly, you cannot bring that utter behavior from your house to the public.
From trending topics to honest conversation and various social media comments, Randoms has it all.
Welcome to another episode of Randoms. No topic is off limit, no comment too weird.
So seeing that you brought the child into the world and took the child's life because of your whatever thing you had against your husband.
Join me, Sharon Ajay, and my co-hosts, Ogotko Mobna, every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m.
And you can go after those struggles, those suffering, those cravings, those irritations you get.
Buckle up and enjoy the Randoms ride.
Democracy in Nigeria is a complex and evolving narrative, with a history marked by military rule and tumultuous transition. The country continues to navigate the challenges of democratic governance. Can Nigerian democratic experiment thrive amidst diverse interests and persistent hurdles? Well, that is rhetorical. Democracy Day in Nigeria is now being celebrated on the 12th of June. 2019 was the first time the day has been marked on these dates, and the change carries heavy symbolism for a country that's known more years of being ruled by military men than by democratically elected leaders. Until 2019, the date on which Nigeria commemorated the restoration of democracy was May 29. But in 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari declared June 12 to be the new Democracy Day. I must say that June 12 carries huge significance for older Nigerians. It was on these dates in 1993 that presidential elections were held for the first time since the 1983 military coup. It was an event many observers have described as the most significant in Nigeria's post-independence political history. It is still viewed as the freest, fairest, and most peaceful election ever held in Nigeria. On this day, in 1993, an estimated 14 million Nigerians, irrespective of ethics, religion, class, and regional affiliation, in a period where religion, acrimony, and tension had reached its zenith, defied bad weather to elect their president with the hope of ending 8 years of military dictatorship. But how did it turn out? The euphoria was short-lived. The result of the election was never released. It is a sad one for what was described as fair and free and fair election, I must say. But now I can only imagine what Nigerians felt and how it has impacted the lives of Nigerians and Nigeria at large. Well, hello and welcome to Randoms. I am your host, Sharon Ajay, and of course, always with me to dissect trending topics and conversation on the internet is Ogochukwu Mobono. It's indeed a beautiful day, Democracy Day, we must say. 26th year, this is our 26th year in Nigeria, being a democratic nation.
Very true.
We must say we're super glad, we are grateful to be alive, to
witness
this day. Really, really, Ogochukwu. And by the way, you look beautiful for a Democracy Day.
I look prepared for democracy. It's a beautiful one. Each day the country gets to celebrate one thing or the other, be it independence, be it democracy, whatever it is. I am very, very happy because then I get to look back at, when it all started, and, I get to see the progress so far from different administrative, from the military administration down to now the civilian role, and it's a beautiful one, I must say. It's a very good experience.
Indeed, it's a beautiful experience, just like Ogochukwu has said. Well, as Nigerian marks June 12th, Democracy Day, citizens across the country are reflecting on the state of the nation's democracy, from economic challenges to a resilient hope for better governance. The day evokes both reflection and renewed expectation. Well, we took to the street of Abuja to find out how Nigerians feel about this journey so far, and of course reflecting on the country's democratic struggles and the aspiration. Well, let's take a look at citizens' reactions.
Democracy Day was originally celebrated on May 29th. The day civilian rule was restored in 1999. But in 2018, the federal government declared June 12th the new date of the Democracy Day, beginning from 2019, in honor of Chief MKO Abiola and the historic 1993 presidential election, widely regarded as Nigeria's freest and fairest election. As Nigeria prepares to mark the June 12th Democracy Day, we are on the streets of Abuja to hear directly from citizens to find out how Nigerians feel about the Democracy Day. Has it delivered on its promises, and what are the hopes moving forward? Here's what they have to say.
June 12th is not worth celebrating, A lot of things, Nigeria right now is upside down. A lot of things are happening, no structure. Imagine the children, the primary children, they're still at home doing nothing, no school. What is government doing about it? They're on strike. Our children are at home doing nothing. They are not going to school for a full term, no school, nothing. They're just at home doing nothing. Is it fair? And we're here saying that we want to celebrate June 12th. Celebrate what exactly? The children are the future of the children are the future. So if you can't take them as priority, what is even June 12th worth celebrating? It's nothing.
Democracy in Nigeria is a mirage. We're talking about freedom. People say the modern democracy, there is freedom. Freedom of what? When people are hungry, where is the freedom? Are we free from poverty? Until we are free from poverty, we are free from dependency, we are free from, say, malaria fever, mosquito bite. Until we are free from those, even though there is no freedom. The true freedom is the freedom for people to be happy while they have leader.
And I really do not think democracy is working in Nigeria. First and first, based on our educational definition of democracy, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Nigeria specifically, this government is not for the people. It's basically for a certain category of people. And is democracy working in Nigeria? Hell no. Nigeria does no longer practice a democratic system of government. It's now a handing over system. I think a particular minister was speaking in Lagos some weeks ago, and he was talking about handing over. If you want to hand over power to somebody. So now they are no longer practicing democracy. They are now practicing a system called handing over, where this sitting governor already knows who he wants to give the position to in the next. You understand? When this time is over, he already knows who he wants to give the the seat to. So our vote doesn't count, our voice doesn't count. Democracy is dead in Nigeria, and it's not existing. So Nigeria does not practice a democratic system. We practice a handing over or godfatherism, or I know you, I know. That's what Nigeria is all about now.
If I should speak to Nigerian leaders, whoever that were elected to the office, I'll tell them that there should be personal sacrifice. Instead, they keep on amassing wealth, and the masses are suffering. So I will ask them to make a personal sacrifice so that the masses will have a dividend of democracy.
Thank you. I think democracy means to me the people freely expressing how they feel, and then seeing that the government are paying attention and also doing the things that the masses have said they should do. That's democracy to me. That is government paying attention to the cries of the citizens, basically.
I haven't seen the results of democracy working so far. For me, because I'm not really an outside person, but I could say in some cases, let's say probably administrations and offices, I think they are getting better now than before. But aside that, I don't think I've seen any other thing.
Those are the voices of Nigerians sharing their thoughts on Democracy Day. From Hope.
Well, we've seen the reactions, of course, of various Nigerians on Democracy, June 12th, the Democracy Day, by the way. And you could see that, well, majority had similar opinions and similar reactions to the day itself. Ogochukwu, what would you have to say about that?
Yeah, definitely we all saw dissatisfactions in their voices. We could hear them. They were not happy. They were not satisfied with the way the country is going. And, you know, I picked something from one of the commenters, and the person said, it's more like we're practicing a handover, no longer a democratic government. And, you know, democracy, like we all know, even from primary school, they say it is for the people. It's a government for the people, by the people. You understand? And it's more of the voices of the people, not the voices of the leaders. But this time around, I think the voices of the leaders has overshadowed that of the people. A leader is supposed to carry their followers along, not to be in one place and just assign, what do you call them, assign roles to them. No, you are supposed to be with them. In fact, as a matter of fact, a leader does more than the people. But this time around, it's more like the followers are working for the people. So how can a citizen start expressing and saying, it's more like we are practicing a handover government, because he has seen over time when it's no longer a free and fair election. Exactly. The 1993 election that was annulled, that everyone assumed that MKO Abiola actually won the election, and it was annulled. It was never called. The result were never called. Was one election that everyone regarded as free and fair for the first time ever. And as a matter of fact, have we seen that kind of election since then? Have we experienced a free and fair election? Nigerians do not want a situation whereby they come out to vote and then their votes are not being counted. A lot of persons no longer want to vote. If you go out and tell people, register for your voter's card, they'll tell you, what am I using it for? If I go out, will it be counted? Yeah. Will my vote, will my voices be heard? A lot of people, when they call out for protest, many people don't want to protest. Not because they tell themselves anything, but they tell you, will the government even yield to our cry? Why am I coming out? Okay, to come and hurt myself? Because at the end of the day, you see touts coming from nowhere, killing people and all of that.
Taking off ballot boxes,
yes.
Causing nuisance.
Nuisance, in polling units. And people are tired of situations like that. We want a situation whereby we would say, okay, this is who we are coming out to vote for. I am voting and it is counting. We've seen videos, we've seen viral videos online where people come out to vote. They are in that polling unit. They counted the votes. They know who won in that vote. But at the end of the day, when results are being announced,
it's contrary to what
it is a different situation. Exactly. And you begin to ask yourself, what happened? These are the results we got. We were able to follow these results. What happened? The last time they said, okay, we want electronic voting. At the end of the day, they came out with excuses of beavers not working, one thing or the other.
And same thing even happened with the beavers, right? Just like you said, whenever they vote in a particular polling unit, you would get to see because they will call out the figures. They will call out, oh, this is the party that won in this polling unit. And even with the use of beavers, after the uploading on the website, you could still tell that it doesn't even tally with what they have announced in that polling unit. And really, this really can, just make lots of Nigerians lose hope, lose their enthusiasm to want to vote a new person into seat, and it's really, really
honestly
sad.
Nigerians are really very, they are resilient. We are resilient people. We never give up. We always tell ourselves there's light at the end of the tunnel. We keep pushing, and I think it is time the leaders begin to hear us this time around, because it is the government for the people. It was never written that democracy is the government for leaders. It is government for the people. So if the people should speak up against something and say, this thing, we don't like it, it is not right, it is not good for our people, then please listen to it, hear their cry, and please make sure that that thing they are soliciting for is being sorted out. Exactly. As a matter of fact, everyone in Nigeria is complaining about unemployment, the hiking, the tariff hike, and we complain about so many things. There's hunger, there's fuel scarcity, and all of that. And we are tired of you reading scripts. We are tired of our leaders reading script. As a matter of fact, don't come to us every day to read script and tell us this is what actions are you putting in place. And even when you are putting actions, we need to see it. We don't want to hear it. It is more of actions are, like they will say in school, they are verbs. You need to, put it to work. We want to see those work. I really need to applaud the Minister of Abuja, Nyesom Wike, I must say, because he is named the Mr. Project, and we've seen it. He worked in Rivers State, and we could see these actions in Abuja. These are the things we want to see. We don't want to keep hearing, oh, we are going to do this, oh, we are going to do that, and it's not working. This is the time the leaders are beginning, they should start hearing the voices of the masses, because honestly, everyone is tired. Right now, people are telling themselves, we don't even know if we are going to vote in 2027, because,
and situations like this, just build up political apathy in lots of persons. You don't want to vote, you don't want to be involved in political, and it is impossible not to be involved, because we say we are running a democratic nation. Now, how can you run a democratic nation when literally literally almost all the citizens are they don't care about politics? There's political apathy. They are not so interested, because they are not just interested. They are not interested because they just know that their vote would not count. And that is a really big trouble for us as Nigerians, really. Except if we are ready to go back to the military regime, dictatorship or whatever, then we need to sit up and we need to up our game in being a democratic nation. Let the voices of the people be. I can assure you, Ogochukwu, if our vote counts, if the economy is not stable and the president is trying his best to stabilize it, there would not be lots of complaints, because people know that we voted this person and we know this person is working. Now imagine you are having economic challenges, the governance is not stable, we have lots of things going on in the country, and you still feel like, oh, my vote still did not count. It is who I did not, or whoever we did not vote in, that is on seats. That can add to it can be a plight literally to all Nigerians, and it's something
very
really
true. Right now, this is me, pleading to the government of the day. There are three things that really needs to be touched in this country, and one is food. Food scarcity and high prices of food is really not a good one. And a hungry man, they say, is an angry man. You see people stealing, we get to hear crimes. This is as a result of either unemployment that has led to hunger, you understand, or the high price of foodstuff in the market. Number two is housing deficit. Can you imagine that some houses that maybe you rent for like 3 million about 4 years ago, right now you can't even get it for 10 million. And these houses, it's not like you're using a new block, you rebuilt it. These are old houses. So there's nothing done. Perhaps maybe the highest thing that should be done maybe is just to roll one paint, in the house, and that's the end of the day. You just see your landlord increasing your rent for no reason. I think the government needs to look into that. And then thirdly is education.
Very important.
I can remember, I still say it every time I come up here. I remember when I was in school about 6-7 years ago, my last school fees I paid was about 26,000. And I remember then vividly that there was almost like a riot in the school. Why are we going to pay 26,000? It moved from, I think, 19,500 to 26,000, and we all kept on complaining until the school had to come out to tell us the reason why it was increased, because they added the particular course and it is a certification course and we need to pay for that course, and that was just the reason why, you know. But right now, I paid 26,000. That was 6-7 years ago. Right now, for that same department, for 100 level, they're paying more than 200,000. And now I'm telling myself, I'm thanking God that I actually went to school then. You can imagine if I was going to school now and my parents, when I was in university, my dad had like 3, 4 of us in the university together. So would he be able to pay? My mom is just a teacher who just retired. Then my dad, you know, would he have been able to pay if it was now? So I think the government should look into it. The loans are not just enough. I appreciate the NEL fund and everything they are doing. I appreciate that policy, but it is not enough. We should please, you want these people to go to school. You don't want to create nuisance in the society. You don't want a society filled with uneducated or illiterate, you know, in the society, and at the end of the day causing crimes and havoc in the society. So please, let's look into the education sector, and then food, and then housing deficits.
Exactly. Ogochukwu, you've spoken really well. Thank you very much. And, you know, there's one thing to talk about the government and what the government needs to do, but we also need to speak to the citizens. Please, we need to be hopeful. We need to help the government as much as we can. All the laws that are put in place, don't do this, do that, the rules that are put in place, please abide by it. It's important. It's important. It's one thing to always talk about the government, but you as a person, how patriotic are you? You need to be patriotic. You need to help the government as much as you would want the government to help you. Well, we are short of time, and this is all we have for you today on the show Randoms. I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you were able to watch this episode, you can catch up on YouTube using the handle Global TV NG, and you can also download the Global TV Nigeria app on your iOS and Android devices to watch all our programs and, of course, up-to-date news on the go. This is me wishing you a happy Democratic Day, and from I and Ogochukwu, we are saying
bye.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.